with thousands of fans posting reactions ranging from emotional tributes to pure shock. "I can't believe it," one fan wrote on X. "This really might be it for Tiger." Others questioned how serious the setback really is, with many still holding out hope for a late-season comeback. But make no mistake, this wasn't a strategic decision. This is a forced exit. His absence isn't just felt, it echoes. According to TalkSport and confirmed by Yahoo Sports, Woods is still recovering from a ruptured left Achilles tendon suffered during a training incident back in March. The injury required immediate surgery and came just weeks after speculation that he was targeting a return at the Genesis Invitational earlier this year. That comeback never materialized, and now neither will his presence at the third major of the season. It's a brutal twist in what was already a fragile recovery arc. Woods has remained largely silent in the lead-up to the US Open, but insiders close to his camp suggest this wasn't a matter of choice. He wanted to play, he trained to play, but when his team ran final assessments earlier this week, the conclusion was unanimous. Tiger isn't ready. Physically, he's nowhere near peak form. And Oakmont, it's not the kind of track you test yourself on unless you're 100% locked in. Every yard of that course punishes hesitation. With his name now officially off the player list, it's not just a field missing a legend. It's the end of a build-up that once promised a return. And the way this was all revealed, quietly with no press conference or no video message, tells you everything you need to know. This wasn't a planned exit, it was a painful one. And it leaves the golf world holding its breath for what's next. The real question that everyone's been asking since Tiger Woods officially pulled out of the US Open is simple. What happened? The answer, while not entirely unexpected, is still difficult to process. It all traces back to a quiet training session in early March, a moment that was supposed to be routine, nothing out of the ordinary. But one sudden move, one wrong step, and it changed everything. Woods suffered a ruptured Achilles tendon in his left leg, an injury that required immediate surgical intervention. The damage wasn't just physical, it hit the legacy. The operation was successful, but that's only the beginning when you're Tiger Woods. Recovery for most athletes takes time. Recovery for a 49-year-old with over 2 decades of wear and tear on a body already full of metal is an entirely different challenge. Sources close to the golfer confirmed to Yahoo Sports that rehab has been slow, deliberate, and heavily managed. He's working daily, but nowhere near US Open ready. Not for Oakmont, not this year. Each day brings effort, but not the edge. And what makes this particular injury even harder to stomach is the fact that it didn't happen in isolation. It came on the heels of a brutal stretch of surgeries over the past 5 years. Back fusion, leg reconstruction, knee procedures. He barely played in 2024, just one competitive round at the PNC Championship, where he appeared mostly as a mentor to his son Charlie. That event, while heartwarming, now reads like a subtle farewell tour. Moments that once felt temporary now seem final. Even fellow pros are beginning to come to terms with what this could mean. In an emotional interview earlier this year, Rory McIlroy told The Guardian, "There's no way I'll still be playing at 50. Not after what he's gone through. It's sad to watch. Truly sad." McIlroy's words didn't just reflect respect, they echoed concern. If Tiger can't suit up for the US Open, what does that say about his chances at the other majors? Or any return at all? Some truths hit hardest when they come from your peers. The injury may have been the trigger, but the reality is much heavier. This isn't just about one tendon. It's the culmination of years, maybe decades, of physical punishment. Tiger's body is telling him what no competitor wants to hear, that desire alone isn't enough anymore. The fire still burns, but the frame won't follow. With Tiger Woods now officially ruled out of the US Open, the bigger picture is beginning to set in. 2025 will likely be a year without Tiger in any major championship. It started with quiet rumors ahead of the Masters, when his camp stayed uncharacteristically silent. Then came the PGA Championship, where hope flickered but never caught fire. And now, Oakmont, the third major of the season and his third no-show. What once felt like a bump in the road has evolved into a full season disappearance, a silence that grows louder with each tournament missed. According to Yahoo Sports, insiders close to Woods never expected him to play a full 2025 schedule, but even the most conservative projections included at least one major appearance. Now, with 3 gone and the Open Championship on the horizon, the odds are stacked high against any return. His Achilles rehab is ongoing, but progress is slow, and Woods himself hasn't made any commitments, no targets, no timelines, no promises. When even Tiger stops drawing lines in the sand, you know the situation is serious. Last Word on Sports broke down the long-term outlook with a sobering tone. It's no longer about comebacks, it's about preservation. That's a chilling thought for a man who once redefined the very concept of a comeback. But age doesn't care about legacies. Woods is now 49 years old, and every medical miracle seems harder than the last. It's not just the Achilles. It's his fused back, his rebuilt right leg, his knees, his stamina. He's not running out of talent, he's running out of time. And yet the desire is still there. His team confirms he still trains, still watches film, still analyzes the field. But there's a growing acceptance, even among his most loyal supporters, that we may have seen the last of Tiger Woods in true major contention. Not because he doesn't want it, but because his body may no longer be able to deliver it. Determination is eternal, but durability has its deadline. So, as 2025 rolls on, the absence becomes the narrative, not the comeback, not the miracle, just the quiet spaces in scorecards and tee times where his name used to be. And for fans, that void says more than any press release ever could. When the loudest roar is the one that doesn't come. If there's one thing louder than Tiger Woods withdrawing from a major, it's the noise that follows. And this time, the loudest voice came from ESPN's Stephen A. Smith, who didn't hold back. On a recent episode of First Take, Smith labeled Woods a recreational golfer at this point, sparking instant backlash from both fans and fellow analysts. The quote, which quickly spread across sports media, was clipped, reposted, and dissected from every angle. Some words land like punches. This one shattered glass. The reaction was swift. Fans flooded the internet with angry replies and emotional defenses. One viral post on X read, "You don't call a 15-time major champion recreational, you just don't." Many pointed to Tiger's resilience, his history of returns, and reminded Smith that Woods once won a Masters after spinal fusion. For them, this isn't just about performance, it's about principle, legacy, respect. The line between critique and disrespect has never felt thinner, but not everyone disagreed. A growing camp of commentators and former players are starting to echo the same hard truth. Tiger Woods isn't the same. His appearances are rare, his rounds limited, his health unreliable. "We're watching a man battle his body more than the leaderboard," one analyst noted. For some, this isn't an insult, it's an acknowledgement of time. Even legends get old. The story just hits harder when it's Tiger. And so, the narrative splits. On one side, the believers, those who still see a Sunday charge in him, even if it's just one more time. On the other, the realists, who think the book is closed, even if the man hasn't admitted it yet. Woods stands between them, silent, saying nothing, letting the storm swirl around him. Sometimes the loudest man is the one who says nothing at all. What's clear is this: Tiger's absence isn't just a sporting moment, it's become a cultural talking point. Everyone has a take, everyone has a side, but only one man knows what's still possible. And he's not talking. Maybe he doesn't need to. Maybe he's waiting to show us. With the US Open now officially off the calendar and his body still in recovery mode, the question that hovers over the golf world like a heavy fog is simple. What's next for Tiger Woods? The truth is, no one knows, not even those closest to him. According to Last Word on Sports, there's no clear plan, no locked-in return date, and no sense of urgency coming from Woods or his camp. When even the most mapped-out careers lose their direction, it becomes a waiting game. The likeliest scenario, a slow, cautious reemergence sometime in late 2025, not at a major, but through something lower impact. TGL Indoor Golf, an arena-style format co-founded by Woods and Rory McIlroy. It's high-tech, lower strain, and offers Tiger the chance to stay in the spotlight without pushing his body to the brink. There's also talk of him making appearances at charity exhibitions or team-based events with his son Charlie. Moments built more for legacy than leaderboard. Some returns don't come with trophies, just peace. Of course, none of this answers the big question. Will he ever tee it up at a major again? If 2025 really becomes a zero major year, it'll be the first since his professional debut in 1996, where Tiger doesn't even attempt one. That's not a stat. That's a statement. And the golf world is quietly grappling with what that means. A season without Tiger doesn't just feel empty, it feels unfamiliar. Still, Hope has a strange way of surviving. We've seen him rise from hospital beds to green jackets before. We've watched him limp, claw, and grind his way back into contention when everyone had written him off. So, the belief, no matter how faint, still lingers. Could he do it again? One final run? Sometimes history waits just long enough for one last swing. So, now we wait. Maybe it's Augusta in 2026, maybe it's St. Andrews in 2027, or maybe we've already seen the last of Tiger Woods on a major leaderboard. That's the question fans don't want to answer, but deep down, they know it's coming. It wasn't about the wins, it was about the evolution. Those were Tiger Woods' own words as he looked back on his 2000 season, a year that didn't just change golf, it redefined it. Today, 25 years later, we finally have clarity on what really drove him during that stretch of untouchable greatness. What he just revealed about that legendary year will leave you absolutely speechless. And we're only just getting started. At the dawn of the new millennium, sports were buzzing with names like Jordan, Federer, and Schumacher. But golf belonged to one man, Tiger Woods. What he accomplished in 2000 is still regarded by many as the single greatest season in golf history. And now we're learning it was never about the trophies. He won 9 PGA Tour titles, including 3 majors, the US Open, the Open Championship, and the PGA. His scoring average? An impossible 68.1, the lowest in PGA Tour history at the time. But even that stat sheet doesn't tell the full story. According to Tiger himself, 2000 was the first time I felt complete. But what made him feel that way is something no one saw coming. You see, the transformation didn't begin in 2000, it started 3 years earlier. After blowing the field away at the 1997 Masters, Tiger made the shocking decision to tear down his entire swing. Why? Because he knew winning wasn't enough if he couldn't win forever. The world mocked it. The media doubted it. But Tiger endured 2 painful years in the shadows, just to become unstoppable when it mattered most. 1999 was the warning shot. 2000 was the explosion. And as Tiger just confirmed in his latest sit-down with the PGA Tour, all the sacrifice, all the hours, it clicked in 2000. That was when it all came together. And you won't believe how it all unfolded at Pebble Beach, the most dominant major win in history, and the moment Tiger broke golf itself. In June of 2000, Tiger Woods didn't just win the US Open at Pebble Beach, he obliterated the field. By 15 strokes. That's not a typo. That's not a dramatization. It's the largest margin of victory in major championship history. And the way it happened? Almost superhuman. And Tiger just revealed something about it that changes everything we thought we knew. From the very first round, Tiger looked like he was operating on another frequency. He was the only player under par. On a course that punished everyone else, he seemed untouched by wind, nerves, or gravity. By Sunday, the rest of the field wasn't chasing the trophy, they were chasing second place. This wasn't dominance. It was a warning shot to the golf world. After Pebble, critics said, "It can't get better than this." Tiger said, "Watch me." Just 1 month later at St. Andrews, the home of golf, Tiger took it to an entirely new dimension. There, in the birthplace of the sport, he showed the world that he wasn't just winning. He was reinventing how golf could be played. He didn't hit a single bunker. He didn't make a single double bogey. He didn't even give the field a single opening. He won by 8 shots. Again. And did it walking with calm surgical confidence. At St. Andrews, it didn't feel like he was competing. It felt like he was performing a masterclass. So, how was this all even possible? At the 2024 Genesis Invitational, Tiger finally explained it. He said, "Everything I worked for since '97 clicked. The body, the swing, the mind, it all aligned. That's why 2000 felt effortless." Effortless, while making history. But his toughest test of the year was still waiting for him, and it nearly broke the legend. A playoff duel with an underdog that brought out a different Tiger and changed his legacy forever. By the summer of 2000, Tiger Woods looked unbeatable on the course. But what fans didn't see, what Tiger only recently admitted, was that his dominance wasn't just talent or mindset, It was engineering. Behind every towering drive, every controlled approach, and every clutch putt, there was a blueprint years in the making. And that blueprint started with the decision that shocked the golf world in 1997, rebuild the swing that just won the Masters by 12 strokes. After his iconic 97 win at Augusta, Tiger wasn't satisfied. He didn't like how it felt. He didn't like how it looked on tape. Most champions would celebrate. Tiger went back to work. He teamed with coach Butch Harmon and tore it all down. And for 2 long years, he disappeared from dominance, grinding in the shadows while critics questioned the move. But in 2000, that swing came alive. And it wasn't just different, it was flawless. Tiger later explained, "That year, everything synced. The club face, my timing, the body, everything connected. That's why I could hit any shot I wanted, anytime I needed." But that was only half the secret. The other? A gamble with a golf ball. What the public didn't know at the time was that Tiger switched golf balls mid-season. Not just a new model, an entirely new manufacturer. He swapped his proven Titleist wound ball for Nike's new Solid Core prototype, still in testing. To many, that was a death wish. To Tiger, it was a calculated weapon. He told Golf Channel, "That ball gave me confidence to go at pins I couldn't before. I could hit it higher, spin it more, and it went straight." It wasn't just a confidence boost, it was a competitive advantage, and no one else had it. Not Phil, not Ernie, not anyone. And Tiger? He weaponized it overnight. The switch helped him dominate at the Memorial, then carry that momentum through the summer stretch. Nike's engineers would later say that decision put Nike Golf on the map. But more importantly, it gave Tiger the final piece of his puzzle. But as 2000 came to a close, Tiger wasn't just chasing trophies, he was chasing something bigger, something immortal. The moment that sealed the legacy and the emotional admission that Tiger just shared 25 years later. By the time the 2000 season ended, one thing was clear. Golf would never be the same. Tiger Woods didn't just win tournaments. He didn't just claim majors. He rewrote the rules of possibility. And in doing so, he shattered the comfort zones of everyone who dared to call themselves a professional golfer. That year, Tiger won 9 PGA Tour events, including 3 consecutive majors. His scoring average dropped to 68-17, the lowest in PGA Tour history at that point. But it wasn't just the numbers. It was the margins. A 15-shot win at the US Open at Pebble Beach, an 8-shot blowout at St. Andrews. Players weren't just losing, they were getting left behind. Greatness suddenly had a new meaning, and second place felt like last. The PGA Tour noticed. Sponsors noticed. Fans noticed. Quietly, nervously, golf courses began to change. Fairways narrowed, greens hardened, tee boxes moved back, sometimes 50 yards or more. This era of architectural overhauls came with a new phrase whispered through locker rooms and boardrooms: Tiger-proofing. It wasn't evolution, it was survival. And yet behind that dominance, something else was happening. What did it do to Tiger himself? What happens when you're so far ahead that there's no one left to chase but your own shadow? At the 2025 Genesis Invitational, Tiger offered something rare: vulnerability. 2000 wasn't just golf, he said. It was proof of what's possible when everything aligns, mentally, physically, technically. And then he paused. But it also cost a lot. That level, it's not sustainable. I found out what I was capable of, but I also found out what it takes to stay there. In that moment, the legend blinked. The machine had a soul. The GOAT remembered what it meant to feel human. Because what people often forget about the 2000 season is that it wasn't just dominance, it was sacrifice. The hours, the injuries, the pressure, the expectation. He had to live in a bubble of perfection. And when he stepped outside it, the world didn't feel real. Inside the ropes, he was invincible. Outside them, he was learning how to carry the weight of history in real time. Tiger's 2000 wasn't just the greatest season in golf, it was a line in the sand. Before 2000, the game was one thing. After it, everything changed. Players today have swing coaches, fitness trainers, sports psychologists, data analysts, entire teams built around one athlete. None of that was standard before Tiger. The ripple effects of that season still echo across every fairway today in how players train, think, eat, recover, compete. Every time you see a young golfer lifting weights, tracking TrackMan data, chasing clubhead speed, or meditating before a tee shot, that's not just progress, that's Tiger's legacy whispering through every swing. Even today, 25 years later, players still measure themselves against 2000 Tiger, not 2000's leaderboard. Tiger himself. Because when someone changes the standard, you don't forget it. You build toward it, even if you know you'll never quite reach it. But here's the question we leave you with. Will we ever see it again? Will another golfer come along who blends talent, mindset, science, and fearlessness the way Tiger did that year? Or was 2000 a moment of lightning in a bottle? A perfect storm of age, hunger, technology, coaching, and willpower? Let us know in the comments. Was 2000 a once-in-a-lifetime phenomenon? Or just the beginning of something even bigger? And if you want to go deeper into the real reason Tiger's mindset was unlike anyone else on tour, click on the next video on your screen right now. It'll show you the mental side of 2000 you've never heard before.